all about talking about him because we're pissing off, excuse my language, the other people we're trying to get. This is a game not of talking to each other, this is a game of talking to others. And if I know another guy that I want to get on my team doesn't like my friend Johnny, I'm never going to bring up my friend Johnny if I'm going to get this guy on my team. When if he asks me, well, what about your friend Johnny? Oh, you know, me and Johnny are still cool, we hang out a lot, but let's forget Johnny for a second and let's just talk about you and I. And that's how we should be doing this. It's not about an argument of who should be president in 2024. It's winning Cobb County back. We're about to lose Cobb County as Republicans. Mableton as a city, half the county, half the city, half of that Mableton area doesn't want the city. They're going to force it down their throats. That's gone. You look at Southern Cobb, that's gone. We're going to lose the school board if we don't get our stuff together. We're going to lose the commission if we haven't already. These are the elections that really matter. And how do we get those people to follow us and listen to us? And I go back to my original point, school choice. It's got to start there. Because parents will not care with that R next to our names if we're talking about education and school choice. They know they're in bad schools. I'll give you a perfect example. I have a friend, there's a charter school, Amana Academy. It's in a old Girl Scout camp in West Cobb area. And beautiful school. They had kindergarten spots, 20 kindergarten spots. And my friend's daughter is 119 on the waiting list for kindergarten, charter school kindergarten. So you're gonna tell me those 120, 130 parents that are on a waiting list are not gonna go for the person that's talking about expanding charter schools so their kids are not on a waiting list and their kids can get in? Those 119 kids now are forced to go to a bad public school and have a step back to the kids that went to Amana Academy. And so that's the issue. Those are the people that will vote for a new Cobb County Republican commissioner who's talking about school choice. Those people will vote for a Cobb County Republican school board member who's talking about school choice. Right? So back to what we shouldn't be talking about, the steal. I grew up in Harlem. I played cards. I played Monopoly growing up. I played Monopoly with my cousins who cheated me. I know they cheated me. I remember to this day being cheated. I do not bring it up anymore. I got cheated, I learned, I moved on. The steal is done. If they robbed us blind, they robbed us blind. There is not a doggone thing we can do about it. I've been playing baseball all my life. I've been playing basketball all my life. I've had referees called traveling on me, and I know I never took more than 2 steps. There is nothing I can do about it. The game is over. The other team won, or I won, or whatever. The game is over. There's no reason to bring it up anymore. We've got to leave that behind us and move forward. The other thing, I believe CRT is one of those things that the Democrats don't know what it is. We necessarily don't know what it is. We know it's CRT. It gets them upset or mad that no one wants to do it. They don't really know what it is. They don't really know what it wants to be done. We get upset because we hear critical race theory. Oh my God, we don't know really what it is. I can't tell you really what it is. I can tell you what it used to be. I don't know what it is right now, but I know the politicians, the people in charge, the media, the people in charge of the media know it's a hot button issue that can divide us. And I say stay away from it because it doesn't win us any advocates. Because the people that we're arguing with, they have no idea what it is. Exactly. So you're arguing with someone has no idea what it is. They think they know what it is. You kind of have no idea what it is. You think you know what it is. And you're both going back and forth on something that you'll never agree with because there's no fundamental definition of what it really is. And so that's another losing message, I believe. The third thing that I will say, and this is the biggest thing that I think we should leave alone, it's social justice. Social justice is one of these nebulous terms that kind of don't mean anything. I know a lot of people here that are in the criminal justice system. Every single small city is already doing some form of criminal justice reform. The schools had 1 or 2, which is fundamentally 0 also, right? So the point here is you can do charter schools just in the city of Baltimore. You don't have to do it, you know, all around Maryland. You could just do it right there. We could do charter schools. We should be able to, and this is what I push in the legislature to do charter schools just in Paulding County. If Paulding County School Board says they want charter schools, let them do it. It doesn't have to be a statewide thing. It doesn't have to be an and or, it can be both. And the funding should always follow the children. In New York City, they pay $23,000 per student for failing schools. And I wish I had a job where I can fail every day. I have nobody listening to our station, but I stay on the radio every day. That would be wonderful if I didn't have the worry of having to have ratings all the time to keep my job. Well, school systems should have to be able to have some fundamental progress, some graduation rate, something that says they're doing a good job to keep that funding. That's billions and billions of dollars. So yeah, it's not a zero-sum game. It shouldn't be, and it should be an and both.
Thank you so much. Everything, I just loved every word that you said. It was phenomenal. But with regards to school choice, I've experienced that myself. I once had a hairdresser that was just a hardcore Democrat, loved Joe Biden, all this kind of stuff that I kind of brought up. But then one time I said, do you agree with school choice? I said, where these children who are living in low-income families, they have an opportunity to get the choice to be able to go to a better school. Oh, absolutely. Well, I didn't dare tell her, well, do you realize this president that you're going to vote for does not agree with that? Because you don't make your hairdresser upset.
Right.
I know that. So I agree 100% that is something that is a hot button for most people, Democrat, Republican, whatever. But how do we, as concerned, citizens, how do we just go out and talk to our state legislators and let them know that this is what we want to see on the ballot?
I would. I have been. I've been pushing it to them. I've been talking about it on the air. I have been saying it. I actually, and I don't mind admitting this on camera or to any of you, I actually voted against Richard Woods, who is a state school superintendent and a Republican, and I voted for Alicia Thomas Morgan, who's a Democrat, only because she's for school choice. So for me, that issue was more important in that race, was more important than party affiliation, because even though he's a Republican, if I can't get school choice out of him, then it doesn't matter to me that you're a Republican, because there's nothing else that matters to me personally from an educational standpoint than school choice. So how we do it is exactly what you did. We don't have to be confrontational, and I say this all the time, and I'll make this brief, Mrs. Hallmark. We don't have to be confrontational because we have better ideas. I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican, because I believe we have better ideas when it comes to education, when it comes to gun control, when it comes to businesses, small businesses, when it comes to financing and spending. I believe we have better ideas. When you have the better idea, you don't have to be confrontational. So we don't have to bring up a Joe Biden, we don't have to bring up a Stacey Abrams, we don't have to bring up the opponent. We can just bring up school choice. Hey, hairdresser, how's your kid doing in school? That starts the conversation right there. There's not one parent that I know of, unless you're in a very good school system, which Cobb has and different places have, but unless you're in a very good school system, not one parent I know is happy with their kid's education. Not a single one. So if you just ask your kids, how's school for them? And start the conversation there. We don't have to be confrontational and bring up the Democrats. We could just bring up school choice. And that's how I would do it. For men, we can leave our barber quickly. It's kind of like girlfriends. Drop them like, I'm just kidding. Is that it? All right, thank you.